Good afternoon. We'll call our hearing to order. Welcome to the Budget Subcommittee on Health and Human Services. Number one, I want to thank you first for your patience and apologize for the delay. We have several members who are in committees. This week is the final deadline to hear fiscal bills in policy committees, so a lot of our members will be moving in and out, myself as well, and presenting bills today as well. But we will do our best to move the agenda quickly. We ask our presenters to be brief. We ask our public comment to be brief. We do look forward to a very rich discussion in the items. With that, we will start with our first issue. We will have an overview regarding trailer bill language that will be considered by the committee today, the subcommittee, regarding the California Senior Legislature. When our presenters are ready, we are ready to hear your presentation, and then we'll take questions. Welcome.
Welcome. Lee Scott, Department of Finance. And I'll give you a brief overview of the California Senior Legislature trailer bill language. Senior Legislature Fund as the successor fund to the California Fund for Senior Citizens and to transfer the fund balance in the budget. In 2014, it was determined that the CSL was not going to meet the minimum contribution amount of $250,000 and would fall off the tax checkoff for the 2014 tax return. Chapter 2, statutes of 2014 did reauthorize the tax checkoff contribution with a different fund name. However, it did not include the authority to transfer the fund balance from the original fund to the new fund. This technical cleanup language provides the necessary authority for the CSL to expend any fund balance remaining in the original fund. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the committee? Is there anything from the LEO's office on this item?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jenny Bella with the Legislative Analyst's Office. We have no concerns to raise with the proposed trailer bill language.
Thank you. Did you have anything to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Thank you. Let's hear from public comment. Anyone for public comment on this issue? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next. We will have to defer our action until we have more members from the committee to take action. We need one more. So, okay, we thought that might be one more. We'll hold for that item for now. The next item, it has to deal with trailer bill language, cleanup language regarding realignment. Whenever you are ready, we're ready for your presentation.
The proposed language would eliminate the need to redirect sales and use tax and vehicle license fee revenues between the health and social services subaccounts. This proposed language would also make technical and clarifying changes to remove equity accounts that are no longer valid and reform statute to current practice. Eliminating the swap will reduce workload and have no impact to the funding available in the subaccounts within 91 realignment. We note the administration worked with the stakeholders in drafting this language before you, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Did you have anything?
No, we view this language to be truly technical and see it as an efficient solution here.
Thank you. Did you have anything to add? Is there any public comment on this item? 1 minute, please.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Farah McDade-Ting for the California State Association of Counties. We worked closely with the Department of Finance on this trailer bill language. We support the trailer bill language, as does the County Welfare Directors Association and the County Health Executives Association of California. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, any questions from the committee? No questions at this time. Madam Clerk, could we establish the roll, please?
Thurman?
Aye.
Bonta?
Here.
Here.
Chu, Grove, Jones? Okay.
Thank you. If it pleases the members of the committee, I'd like to move in the agenda and our order just a bit to maximize on having the opportunity to having a quorum present and to take up the consent calendar and some of the items that we have to vote on that are listed in our agenda. So we have a number of items on consent calendar. Is there a motion to move consent calendar?
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Thurman?
Aye.
Bonta?
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones? Has 3.
Consent calendar passes. If it pleases the committee, without objection, I'd like to also move to our vote-only calendar, where we have 9 items, and I'm happy to read them. Without objection, we'll go through each one individually and take a roll call vote on each. Any objection from members of the committee? Let us proceed to issue 1, the local assistance backfill for CalWorks grant increase. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'm voting against it, but I'll second it.
Thank you for your clarity and straightforwardness. Thank you, Mr. Jones. We're going to move forward with the votes with the members that we have. And if other members choose to add on after this vote, they certainly can. And if anyone at this dais chooses to change how they wish to vote, they're certainly welcome to do that as well. So we do have a motion, and for the purpose of the vote, I will second issue 1, the local assistance backfill for CalWorks grant increase. Secretary, please call the roll.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 2.
So we have 2 votes that will be on call. Issue 2, the local assistance implementing CalWorks legislation estimate. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion's moved and seconded. Please call the roll.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
Issue 2 is on call. For issue...
2 passes. Has vote.
You aye vote?
Yeah. So
My apologies. Thank you, Mr. Jones. I like that about you. Thank you, Mr. Jones. I stand corrected. That issue is out. Issue 3, the local assistance maintaining access to CalFresh. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Please call the roll.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
Motion passes. Thank you. Issue number 4, local assistance CalFresh reporting simplification to eliminate change reporting. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Please call the roll.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
That issue is out. Issue number 5, local assistance CalFresh CFAP caseload impact of the ACA. Can I get a motion?
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second. Thought we'd change it up a little.
Nicely done. Roll call, please.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
Issue 5 is out. Issue 6, local assistance drought food assistance program. Can I have a motion?
I'll move that one. Second.
And we have the roll call.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
Issue 6 is out. Issue 7, local assistance CalFresh student eligibility legislation. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 2.
Issue 7 is on call. Issue 8, budget change proposal number 11, CalFresh technical assistance and program compliance.
So moved. Sorry.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
Issue 8 is out. Issue number 9, budget change proposal number 5, coordinated care initiative, limited term positions extension. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
Thurman,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones.
Sorry, this is number 9, right?
Yes. Jones, aye. Has 3.
That issue is out. Thank you. Those are all. Oh, we have more. Issue. I'm so excited that we're moving, Mr. Jones. Thank you.
Yes, so we just skip that one and go straight. Okay.
Issue number 10, budget change proposal number 50, Child Welfare Social Worker Empowerment and Foster Child Protection Act. I'll move this one.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Jones not voting, has 2.
That's on call. Issue 11, the Local Assistance Children and Family Services Program legislation. So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Jones not voting, has 2.
Issue 11 is on call. Issue 12 is pulled. We'll move to issue. We'll give you a redo on 13, 14, and 15. How about that? Issue 13, budget change proposal number 52, implementing legislation related to RCFEs, AB 1570, 2171, 2236, SB 911, and 1153. So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Jones not voting, has 2.
Issue 13 is on call. Issue 14, budget change proposal number 54, implementing legislation related to group home complaints, AB 388, group homes, juveniles. So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 2.
Issue 14 is on call. Budget change proposal number 7, Home Care Services Consumer Protection Act, AB 1217, Phase 2. I'll move the item.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 2.
Thank you. Those are all of our items for today. We're about business. We're going to move through a couple other issues and some other actions. Were there any questions for this last panel?
We're good.
So these two are trailer bill adoption, the one here, and then also this recommendations for trailer bill adoption, and these two will be held open. So voting on the first open, and one California. That's the one California. But the one we just heard is this one. We can take action on that, and then the successor fund we just heard that we can take action on that too.
Got it.
Okay.
We heard presentation on 2 trailer bill language. One was a technical cleanup for realignment, issue number 1, and also issue number 1 for the California Senior Legislature. Now that we have a quorum, I'd like to ask for votes on these 2 items. For trailer bill number 607, successor fund designation. Can I have a motion, please? There's a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 3.
That motion passes. Trailer bill number 605, 1991 realignment technical cleanup. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Thurmond,
Aye.
Bonta,
Aye.
Chu, Grove, Jones. Has 2.
That item is on call. So these are all of our action items. As members come, we'll ask them to add on, and we will continue with our number of presentations today. I will be assigning the gavel to Mr. Bonta to continue the conversation as we proceed. We will move to, we're going to go to a proposal from a number of our advocates that address basic needs assistance for homeless children and youth. I'd like to welcome Benito Delgado Olson, the Executive Director of Cato College, and we'll have representatives from the Department of Social Services, Department of Finance, the LEO's office, and of course public comment. Mr. Bonta, you are chair.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Assemblymember Bonta, and members of the committee and staff and others for the opportunity to present today.
along with my colleagues. My name is Benito Delgado Olson. I'm the executive director of K to College, which in a nutshell is an organization that exists to address the unmet material needs of children and youth identified as homeless or otherwise low income in our public school systems, and adults working towards self-sufficiency, which basically means CalWORKs clients and others on general assistance. Since 2010, our organization, in partnership with more than 220 county offices of education and school districts throughout the state of California, has distributed some form of basic material needs assistance to a little more than 300,000 individuals, the lion's share of whom are experiencing homelessness or very, very low income, usually free lunch enrolled. We've been able to achieve this amount of success through a variety of very creative but also localized public-private partnerships. Some of them involve county social service agencies. All of them usually involve a match of some sort. But our greatest challenge in addressing the unmet material needs of the state's 297,000 homeless kids is that there is no current categorical of public funding that even on a match basis can be utilized to address the unmet material needs of homeless kids. The areas where we have been successful, such as the Bay Area, parts of the core of LA, where there are corporate folks who are willing to lend a hand in San Diego, are really the exception. Corporations aren't really willing to help in places like Barstow, the Inland Empire, the valleys where a lot of these kids are concentrated and where the population of homeless kids has increased most dramatically in recent years. There is no community in the state of California that doesn't have a large number of homeless kids currently being identified in their public schools. To show you how this works in reality, currently what happens through each school district in the nation, not just California, is that they have a homeless liaison who's responsible for identifying, tracking, and referring services to homeless kids in public schools. And so if I were a homeless liaison and my colleague here were a homeless student, I would meet with that student and their parent and hand them a supplemental residency questionnaire to determine what is their current situation in terms of nighttime residency. Are they in a motel? Are they in a car? Are they on the street? On the back of this form is a material needs assessment, which includes clothing, hygiene kits, socks, shoes, underwear, very basic dignity of life items. And currently what happens in the majority of these school districts, unfortunately the very vast majority based on our program staff feedback, interactions, presentations at county offices of education, is that that homeless liaison doesn't have anything to give to them. They tell them to go to social services, to go to a shelter, to go to here, to go to there, to have this very immediate need met. And quite often, there are no resources. We've surveyed all of them. Our most recent survey was just completed this week, and we'll be sharing that new data with our colleagues soon. But I think that the toughest thing here is that the hardest part of this is already done. The kids are identified. They're identified by a social worker, but there's just nothing available for their material needs to be met, even with a willingness amongst public and private manufacturers, amongst county liaisons themselves, and everyone else that would make a system like this work. And that really gets to the heart of what we're trying to do. Food banks have been very successful regionally at alleviating hunger by having one central hub that can work directly with farmers and food producers and other partners to acquire food very cheaply or in kind and send it out to their front lines of distribution, the food bank, the food pantries, the soup kitchens, churches, and so forth. For us, it's really the same idea, except we're dealing with sympathetic manufacturers and homeless liaisons that are already identifying kids, figuring out what they need, but don't really have anything to give to them. So with that, I'd like to let my colleagues speak as well.
Hi, my name is Shireen Walter, and I'm a volunteer advocate for the California State PTA in support of this proposal, of course. We're the largest child advocacy organization working strictly on behalf of children and youth, and one of our main goals is to support the needs of our vulnerable children, and these are certainly our most vulnerable. There's 297,000 homeless students in California. That equates to about one student in every single classroom, and as PTA members and parents, we see that in our classrooms. We see these kids who don't have these things, who have holes in their shoes, who don't have a comb for their hair. So there's no part of this state that this doesn't touch, and it's a really important issue for us. Many of these kids lack the basic necessities, and what this looks to do is give about $25 per student homeless student, who then is matched by nonprofits to fill these basic needs. And so California State PTA just simply says this is too important for us not to do, and we'd like you guys to take that into consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse my cough here. I got this allergy cough for like 6 weeks. The doctor says eventually it'll go away. My name's Mike Hannigan. I'm the president and co-founder of an office products company called Give Something Back Office Supplies. We've been headquartered in California, Oakland, California, for the past 23 years. We're the largest independent in California and probably the third largest office supply company in California. Staples and Office Depot are obviously number one and number two. We've been working with this program for a long time. We're also a California benefit corporation. We converted in 2012. So our mission of our business is to take care of our customers, and all of our profits are donated to support community needs through donations to nonprofit organizations. So we have found this program to be a really effective way to leverage our business assets in a way that amplifies the ability of K to College to deliver school supplies to kids. So, you can well imagine, as a big office supply company, we get hit up all the time by community groups to support local initiatives to provide school supplies for homeless kids and poor kids. So, because they're running down to Walmart and Safeway and everywhere else to get, a box of this, a box of that. So they're paying extraordinary prices. We can leverage our supply chain capabilities, our credit line capabilities, our warehousing capabilities, our distribution capabilities, all those business assets that were normally deployed in the commercial space. We can deploy them in a way that amplifies their ability to provide these products for a fraction of their cost that we would sell them, for example, to the University of California. And we've been doing that for hundreds of thousands of these backpacks. It really works, and our feeling is that if we could get some if the state is willing to contribute to the program and put some predictability underneath it, a lot more infrastructure can be built to drive a lot more efficiencies and a lot more cost savings through the system, not just through us and our philanthropic arm, but also our commercial assets, and also the other companies that we deal with that would love to piggyback with us on this thing if they had some kind of predictability and scale. So this is a great program. It's worked for 7 years. We'd like to continue to support it, and we will support it regardless, but we'd like the state to support it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Department of Social Services.
Thank you, Member Bonta and members. Pete Chervenko with the Program Deputy Director at the Department of Social Services. Like many requests before you this year, this one is not in the governor's budget, and we therefore don't have a position on it. We're proud to partner with K to College on the tax checkoff fund for a very similar purpose. Ultimately, what goes into the budget will be a question of budget and policy priorities, but we appreciate the effort and the intent behind what they're trying to accomplish.
We'll circle back to public comment in a moment. We're going to go to Department of Finance first.
No comment, Department of Finance.
LAO.
Thank you. Although we have no official position on this proposal that's in front of you, we have met with Mr. Delgado Olson and Ms. Walter on this issue and continue to learn more and more. So we'd be happy to assist you or your staff as you work through these issues and have any technical assistance questions or requests.
Thank you. Public comment.
My apologies, late to the party here. California Teachers Association, my name is Estelle Lemieux, and we wholeheartedly support this program. We supported the legislation when it initially went through the legislature, and we've been on board ever since and will continue to be so, because this is a program where teachers actually help and assist in identifying these homeless kids. And teachers are more than willing to try to help in any way they can, and we believe this is an excellent program, so we ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Donna Archukovich, California State PTA. I'm from Los Alamitos, which is northern Orange County, and we have homeless kids there. We need your support to help them, so please support this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carol Kosovar, also with the California State PTA, but I live in San Francisco, and I've been lucky enough to go into school and see how this really works. And you get the sense of it when you see a child get this material and get a smile on their face, a thing that they just wouldn't have but for the fact that people are working together to provide these basic resources for kids. So this is something that's simple, but it really, really makes a difference in the life of a child.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Angel Van Stark, and as someone who has experienced homelessness as a child and later as a transitional age youth, as defined by the McKinley-Vento Homeless Association Act, my intention is placed to ask questions of this large allocation of finances and to think of it critically, because it's a large sum of money that would be used to address this issue, and I just hope that it is used as effectively and as strategically as possible, since this is an issue that is so deeply important to me. And so I have the following questions that I hope you all take into consideration moving forward. How will the $25.20 be spent? Is there a walkthrough of the process? How much is currently being allocated for other critical programs such as shelters and housing? Is this not already covered under the McKinley-Vento Homeless Association Act? And if not, why isn't it? If it's already, it should have been issued under the homeless rights of students. And nonprofits will be provided with a grant to be able to hand out these products, but they also have to pay 25% in addition to that, and I kind of have a question about that, like how is that structured, and how do you incentivize nonprofits to even participate in this program if they're going to have to pay even more? And aren't they already pulling money from government grants? So it seems like it's a double use of government finances. And why not use liaisons that are already placed at schools as the points of contacts in order to be able to connect with homeless youth if they're already interfacing with homeless youth and already have the list directly with themselves? And those are the questions I have, and I hope you take them deeply into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ray Branch, and I was homeless before, and I see people building here in Sacramento all over the place, and right now I'm in the process of creating my own sponsor group, investor group, and I would just like to know, how can we get involved? I would love to take some of those funds and start building ourselves and totally to the children. The children, they are the future. And we need to know how we can get involved.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Savannah Kirstein. I'm currently homeless right now, and I would just like to see how we can get the money into homes to help these children who are going to school and being homeless, because right now I'm going back to high school myself, and I wanted to see what we can do to figure out how to get these children and families into homes so that they don't have to be outcasted or, whatever may be the point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Susanna Niffen with Children Now, and we haven't taken a position on this. It just came out yesterday, so we're still kind of processing the proposal. We do, however, kind of listening to the youth and to other advocates and listening to their priorities, have questions about whether general fund dollars are appropriate rather than Prop 98 or some other way to fund this, or whether this is better done through philanthropy. So there are just some questions that we'd like to talk through with folks a little bit more.
Thank you.
All right, Senator Leno.
Wait.
Oh, I'm